Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the L.A.M.E Book Club podcast. My name is Melissa.
I'm Ellie.
And today we are going to be going over chapters 43 through 48. It's our second to last episode of Silver Elite. And boy, does a lot of good stuff happen in this episode. And I just want to, before we even get started, 3 cheers and a hip hip hooray to me. And that's all that I'm going to say on that.
Oh my gosh.
We will get it. I'm going to be insufferable this episode. I hope you all know this.
I hope you all can feel my eyes rolling into my brain as that was said. But I am going to just congratulate the both of us. We are on the second to last episode, and we have not cheated. We have stuck with the 6 chapters. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this book. I almost cheated this week, and I thought, I'm this far. Let's just finish strong.
Yeah. I have been tempted. This week, I wasn't as tempted this week, and I don't really know why. But I've been very tempted before, but I've done well. I'm truly am shocked that I have not just folded and read ahead.
It's been fun, and I feel like we've gotten a lot of good feedback about this style where people are like, I like that you didn't know what was going to happen, but I did, and so it was fun seeing our reactions, which it's fun seeing our reactions too, as I now know what's happened, and then I play back an old episode and I'm like, how dumb was I? Or I know, in Melissa's case today, what genius.
How right was I? True. Well, actually, Ellie, I don't even know if you did that on purpose or not. That is a very good segue into our review of the week. So I'm going to actually do this a little bit out of order. I'm going to read our review first and then go into liking, subscribing, and everything. But our review, it's titled First Ever Review. Also, P.S. Love when you guys do it. I've never reviewed before and just do it for us. Warms the ticker. So thank you.
Worms the old palpitator.
Specifically the right ventricle.
Yeah.
This is from Rach02 2019. The review is, I never think to leave reviews, but you two gals have inspired me to head here. Thank you. Love, love, love this podcast, and especially loving you guys reading in real time to the episodes. Torture for you, but oh so enjoyable as a listener to hear. Jeff's kiss for you both. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Love that.
It's been torture, but it's worth it.
It really has been torture. You nailed that one. Rach02 or 02 2019. I'm not 100% sure. O's and zeros look really similar on short form content sometimes, and it's a me problem. But anyways, if you don't already follow us, subscribe. We're at L.A.M.E Book Club Pod on everything, on YouTube, all the social media platforms. And leave a review if you have an iOS device, just like Rach did, and we'll read it. So thank you.
Yes, thanks. Friends, we have merch. We have totes and we have stickers. And if you are part of our Patreon, you'll get 15% off. You can find all of the merch at our website, lamebookclubpod.com. And speaking of Patreon, join now if you want to go through Once Upon a Broken Heart with us by Stephanie Garber. Yes. We're having a good time. We are coming out with an episode this week, so if you join, you're just in time to hop in the middle of the book with us. But you can go back. All our episodes are there.
Yes. There's also ad-free episodes of all of our Monday episodes. They're ad-free on Patreon as well.
Yeah, and some extra bonus content too. We've dropped a few episodes. Yeah. Ad free over there. Little bonus content, new episodes where we do different books. You get voting rights. So if you want to see us do another book later on, we can do that. So that's that on that. Tell me. Oh, and we have Patreon shout outs. So welcome to Mia and Hillary.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
Welcome Squidward. Welcome Squidward.
Thank you. So, as per usual, and I'm sure you guys are expecting, obviously we're going to have a tangent before we start the episode. But this week, the queen herself has given us direction on the tangent that we will be talking about. And obviously, that is going to be the teaser that SJM resurfaced and gave us about the new ACOTAR book. I lost
so
my
crazy.
Marbles.
So crazy for a Friday night to just all of a sudden be scrolling and be like, hold on. I felt like Perch Perkins and Sponge. Breaking news.
First off, signs of life. I literally, it was like, I want to say earlier this week, I was just thinking about how nothing has been said for the book or just anything. And then I was like, let me just check and make sure she's doing okay. Sarah has not posted anything since the beginning of 2025. Like in general, not like check. Forget books related, literally. So I was like, I'm considering if we need to call and have the police just check to make sure that she's doing all right.
As a worried fan,
she hasn't
posted on Instagram for some time now.
Like, and I love a good social media cleanse. More power to you. But when you're that high profile and when you have millions of people on the edge of their seat waiting for an announcement, you have to at least give us something to show that, like, your pulse is still active. Like, there's got to be signs of life to some extent. And she just was not giving any. So I was getting a little concerned for her, but fear not, everyone. Not only is she alive and well, she is thriving. And one thing I really wanted to talk about is, and if you're in our Patreon, you're most likely part of our Discord as well. We had a whole conversation about it in Discord. But there are theories going around that if you've seen the reel that she posted, it was like a composition book that she closed, and the very front of the composition book, it says ACOTAR 6. Now, here's where the debate comes. It either says ACOTAR 6 and then there's an arrow, or it says ACOTAR 6 and there is like a dash through 8. And I'm going to plug a picture here so you guys can decide for yourself.
Perfect. But as you plug this picture, I also want it to be known that there's speculation for a couple other things. One, it could also say ACOTAR 6-B because people think it's one composition book. Maybe she had another one, was like, ACOTAR 6, this draft didn't work out. Here's 6B. And so that could be it. Or there's another thought, and this also happened in our Discord. I think it was Piper that brought it up, but we were like, do we count the novella as 3.5 or as 4 or as like nothing? Because that then brings up the question, is this 6 as in she already wrote 5 and then there's 6, like we're getting 2 books, or is this just the next one?
Yeah. Well, and then there's other thoughts that are going around where here's why there's even speculation in general. The comment on her reel is she said first drafts plural and then done. So it implies that there are more than one draft. So like the 6B, like you said, like that would make sense if this is like part 2 of her, or even like the second attempt, like drafts, like I've drafted. Another thought that's been floating around is maybe it really is just ACOTAR 6, but she's also been working on Crescent City 4 since there are crossover between the two series now. And also not too long ago, it was confirmed that there will be a 4th book in the Crescent City series. So there's that. There's lots of speculation. And I love and a little bit hate how much she messes with our minds. Everything she does, I feel like is so intentional. It is, and it's beautiful, but it is villainous at the same time.
Isn't it, though?
And
I never would have thought just picking up this little fairy book that I'd be so tortured for the next few years. That's crazy.
Like consumed. Oh my gosh. And the way that it has changed me. Anyways, I am just beside myself with joy and excitement at just knowing she is doing something. Again, sign of life. She's doing well. Excellent. Happy for you. Happy that you're done with this phase. And even like logically, I logically understand.
Happy that you're done with the ignoring fans phase.
Yes, I really am. Welcome back to life. I like understand that realistically, we still are probably going to wait at least probably another year before I can get my grubby little hands on this book.
Yeah, but when can I get my sticky fingers on this book? No, I do think so. Here's more speculation because I've been on the gram all evening last night.
The gram.
So people think that the book could come out during or on the day that Sarah has deemed like winter solstice. I think it's the same. Yeah.
I mean, that's
I
a
think
real
that
day.
in ACOTAR and now it's the same. Yeah, in like real life. But they think it's going to come out winter solstice or next year at some point.
Yeah, the winter solstice, I could totally see that. I guess it would just depend on how quickly Bloomsbury is going to pop these suckers out, because it still has to go through the editing process now. She said first drafts done. So like, I'm assuming that means like she's submitting it and now it's going to her editors for everything.
Okay,
and then they have to print and stuff.
Do you remember because I do, when Rebecca Yarros put out like done with the Onyx Storm first draft, and that came out within the year. Within a few months after that, I think. Do you remember how many
publishing issues that one had, though? That's where I'm like...
Not Onyx Storm, but Iron Flame did.
No, Iron Flame, and that was the one that she did so quickly back-to-back with Fourth Wing. That was 6 months later,
but
Iron Flame came out.
No, but listen, I was saying Onyx Storm. I remember when she said final draft is done with that, and that came out a few months later.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember how.
Honestly, I would take the publishing issues as well if I got the story. I will overlook the grammar.
I don't know. I think it would bother me too much. I think I'd rather wait a couple more months. Like, here's my thing. We've already waited this long. I'd rather wait an extra month or two and have it be perfect than
that's crazy
just to get it out. But I don't know.
I'll just take whatever you give me. I'll take the scraps. I will lick the floor, please.
It's funny though. I was thinking about this when I was watching the reel. Because here am I, like 2 months ago in May, I was like, if this woman doesn't give us something, I'm not even going to read it. Like, I said that on the internet. I said that out loud.
Yeah, I didn't
the
buy
words
it
came
for
out of
a
my
second.
mouth. Well, and I knew that I didn't buy it either, but I said it. And the second we got a morsel of something, I was giddy, kicking my feet in bed. I literally thought to myself, the way I am surviving on these crumbs that she is giving me is diabolical and absurd how much I got out of that 5 seconds of a reel that she posted. How much life it gave me.
Who would have thought it?
Oh man, who am I? What am I? I will tell you this, 3 years ago, if you had told me that I would be acting like this, or just in this stage of life, I would have laughed in your face. And now here I am laughing from a reel.
I have learned some interesting news this past week from my friends I am a Doctor Who fan. I'm going through it again. And my friends are too. And we were talking about it. And did you know that one of the doctors, the actor Peter Capaldi, he was like the biggest Doctor Who fan prior to being casted. He was even, I believe, like the president of the fan club, wrote letters after like every episode on how amazing these episodes, like really a diehard fan. And then they casted him. So good things come to those who fan hard enough. And I would love to be in the show. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm going to just throw this out and try and manifest this. I don't even necessarily want to be in the show. Sarah, if there's any snowflake's chance in hell that you're listening to this, please name a character Melissa. That is all I want. I just want a character named Melissa. I will throw up out of excitement if I read my name in one of these penned by Sarah herself. I will lose my mind. That's it. That's all.
I volunteer my eyeball as Jurian's ring.
Eye.
If I can, Jurian.
As
oh my gosh.
Inspiration.
Yeah, please. I would love to be in the show.
CGI this sucker.
Anything you want.
All right. Well, we've tangented enough, but this was groundbreaking for the book world. After not just like a year and a half of nothing from her, but just months of just nothing since really.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess some books have come out, but like nothing groundbreaking in the same way like the Empyrean or ACOTAR series have been. This was we were in a drought, book friends, and it just poured over the weekend, and
this was our Cinderella. This is our Hilary Duff Cinderella story
moment.
Rain in this drought.
Yes. Sarah gave us the kiss that we needed from Chad Michael Murray, and now it's raining.
She gave us she was Chad Michael Murray's kiss. Perfect.
No, she is Chad Michael Murray. The reel was the kiss, and now it's raining.
I'm going to make a reel off this. Catch it this week. This is going to happen. All right.
Spoiler warning, for this episode, we will be going through chapter 48 of Silver Elite. So if you are like us and reading along, you are safe. There will be no spoilers outside of whatever comes out of our minds. But nothing has been confirmed for us. But if not, it's near the end of the book. So most of the book is fair game at this point.
Yeah, but truth be told, I'm sure you've got spoilers out the not spoilers, theories out the wazoo for these 6 chapters. I know that there's going to be more books, and I'm predicting all of them. So here we go.
Incredible.
Last time on the L.A.M.E Book Club podcast, the aberrant healer Ellis was brought in to do routine checkups on the elite. Wren lies her way out of having her scars healed to prevent her powerful mod mark showing up in front of everyone. Cross spends the night in her quarters, and their relationship just continues to grow. Chapter 43. Wren and Cross's big adventure. She and Cross are loading up into a helicopter when Wren asks, "Is this a date?" And Cross is like, "No." Wren is like,
so bold of her. I don't think I would have ever had the guts to ask out loud, "Is this a date?" I think in my mind, I would have just been like, "It's a date." And then that's it. Just left it at that.
But props to her, because I would rather ask than like assume this is a date and then weeks later be like, that wasn't a date, which I have seen the Reddit horror stories. My goodness.
Actually, Reddit horror stories. Let me tell you my real life horror stories that happened with me and my husband. We had been, in my mind, we had been dating for like weeks. And then he asked me, he goes, "I'd like to ask you on our first date." I'm like, I literally said, "We haven't already been going on dates?" And he goes, "Oh." And that, I mean, luckily it worked out for us. We got married and now we're on our 3rd kid. But
I didn't know that story. That's so funny.
No. Okay. And riddle me this. I didn't think dinner and a movie, I thought that constituted as a date. In his mind, it wasn't a date because he never officially asked me to go on a date. We were just hanging out together. I'm like, "You are such a boy." That was a date. He bought my food.
On the other hand,
like all that, like it was a date.
I'll tell you what, sometimes boys get it so wrong. I went out with this guy, but also my friend. And when I say went out, I literally mean stepped out of my building to go out to dinner with my friend and another guy. And he thought that was a date. There's a third person here. How could that possibly be? I paid for my own meal.
Think you were a throuple?
No, he literally thought he was on a date with just me, which
so
is
awkward.
Bananas. Yeah, so boys, what the
completely opposite experiences. And also all of that is really just proof that what Wren did was the correct thing. I just couldn't possibly. Clearly, I just assumed my own self, and it backfired. So I guess I'm glad she did ask, especially with Cross's response.
True. So Cross says no, and Wren's like, "But then why did I wear a dress?" And he's like, "I didn't ask you to wear a dress. I just said you don't have to wear a uniform." I know. And once again, that would be my 13th reason. I'd be like, "Well, I'm going home."
Well, and I like how she was like, "Oh crap, you're right. He didn't. I did this to myself."
Yeah. And she says it out loud, which absolutely I feel like takes away the awkwardness, because she's like, "I made this into a date, didn't I?" Love that. Yeah. So they fly somewhere over Ward S, and mid-air, Cross reaches over and puts his hand on hers. And all of a sudden, in my mind, Ellie Goulding is playing with the like Christian Grey Anastasia, like when they're in the helicopter. Yes. "You're the light, you're the night." Loved it.
Also,
love me like I will say, do.
Right after he's like, "Is this a date?" No. But then does something like cutesy,
datey,
and borderline intimate. I'm like, you're giving mixed signals here, my guy.
Actually, so this was for real. As you know, I like romance books. I like there to be a romantic plot in the book, but I'm not like, "Oh my gosh, this really like gets my emotions going."
Yeah.
But this scene did it for me. I was like, I'm getting goosies. It was so cute to me. Yeah, that's my new thing, goosies.
I like it.
So I thought it was so cute. Wren touches grass quickly, though, as she remembers who he is and who she is. So do you remember Vine? Do you remember Vine?
I remember
that
Vine?
One where...
Yes, I peeked.
The one where that person like touches that teacher's hand on the bus and she like darts it away real quick.
I don't remember that one.
Yes, you have to know. Oh my gosh. Well,
you doing it is not helping.
No, look closer.
That. No, Ellie, I don't. That doesn't help. I will say though, us Gen Xers who loved Vine. Just calling. It's just another
Who?
millennial reference.
So, anyway, she pulls her hand away, but she doesn't want to look over to see his reaction. Then the heli lands, and they begin their trek into the woods. I don't know about you, but I could not imagine a worse place to wear a dress and sandals. Ticks?
To be fair, he didn't tell her to wear a dress and sandals.
So true. But then maybe I'd be like, you should go change while you still have a chance because you need shoes.
Well, and
anyways,
I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. I mean, like a few sentences, but like Cross even says when they get to like the next part of where they're going, he was like, I really should have told you to wear boots. And I'm like, yeah, you probably should have. Like, I'm not, obviously, you didn't say this is a date, wear nice clothing. But if you knew what you were doing and you knew that they were going to have to be like free climbing stone and rock and walking through the woods.
It's so true.
Maybe like just like throughout there, like, I don't know, you could wear civilian clothes, but make them comfortable and sporty. I don't know. So a heads up would have been nice.
Two stories. One, that's so typical boy, I feel like, because do you remember the reel where this girl, she was in the hospital and she asked her dad to bring her some clothes and he brought her, she was like, please bring shorts for me to sleep in. And he brought her denim shorts, slacks, a bodycon dress.
That was so
like,
hilarious.
I'm in the hospital. And then, what were we just talking about? I've lost it.
Giving her a heads up about wearing comfortable shoes. Yes. And like free climbing. Because they like have to climb down rocks and crap.
Oh, yes. Second story. My friend, you met her, Emily. She was like, hey, do you guys want to go hiking? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I come in my hiking shoes and my leggings and like, I think it was a little, no, I was like in a tank top. And she was like, what are you wearing?
Was a walking path.
No. She said kayaking and I heard hiking. And so then I believe at the time, like probably a size 6, size 8, her a size 0, size 2. She was like, you can borrow one of my swimsuits. Worst day of my life, easily.
Worst day of my life.
I still laugh about it to this day.
I don't think anything would make me feel more like a can of biscuits than wearing a swimsuit that is 3 sizes too small.
Pillsbury. Call me Pillsbury.
That's what I was.
I was the can that you smack against the counter and it just popped open.
No one touch me or this suit is popping off.
Anyways, it was a lovely lake day. Kayaking went well.
Everything else smooth.
Yeah. Anyways, Wren and Cross, they're hiking. She's in sandals. It's a mess. But then Danny Francis gives us one more reason to believe she's actually Stephanie Meyer because she pulls this little song and dance. Cross stops, gestures to his back. Wren climbs on and he carries her through the woods. And if you did not get the mental image of Edward carrying Bella up the PNW with his little fast legs, delete my number.
The only thing that was missing is him calling her Spider Monkey. Otherwise, it was Twilight.
Yes.
They're literally in the woods. Like, this could not possibly get more Twilight-esque.
Oh my gosh. But if you really, like, take that funny aspect out and look at it, it was such a cute scene, too. It did give me butterflies as well. I was in my feels for these chapters.
I was just about to say, I think this was, like, the most tender we've seen Cross in these 6 chapters.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I like it. Well, they reach a rocky cliff that looms above, and Wren was like, I cannot scale this right now in my dress and sandals. But Cross says, fear not, Princess. They are not going up. We are going down.
That is my favorite, like, soundbite on if any reel or TikTok or anything has that, oh, hello, princess. Like, if that's how it starts,
hello,
I'm watching it.
Princess.
Yeah. That is my favorite thing ever. I'm so glad you threw that in there. I am going to say my tin hat was squeezing my brain during this because I get it. They're walking through woods, typically not like an ocean setting, but if any of you guys have ever been to Central California, you know that pine trees do grow next to water, like, and the ocean itself, and or it could be like a lake or something. And so what I was picturing is when he said they got to these like cliffs, I was expecting to see some kind of water on the other side, and I was thinking that this is when she was gonna see a boat or something along the lines of whatever Wolf was explaining to Daisy when they were talking mind to mind. And I was just waiting for that, and I was waiting for them to like get in the water or something, and then it just never came, and I was like, dang it. Like, this would have been a great opportunity.
I can see how you would get there, but I didn't get there. But okay, well, I did get somewhere, so hang tight. So Cross says, we're going down, we're not going up. He crawls down there, and it's just like a cave crevice, and my number one fear is cave exploration when they're like laying down, squeezing through those crevices. So
you and Zeke,
I'll tell you what, if this was like my date, count me out.
I would have been like, I will wait for you up here, dude. No, my husband, he is very much like that. He has like 4 irrational fears, and like emphasis on irrational. Like one of them is like being attacked by a bear. And the other one is, what is it? Cave spelunking? That's where you jump, right?
Yeah,
that's
spelunking.
No,
I think it's just when you explore in those tight spaces. I think.
Okay, but I'm like, okay, that is 100% avoidable. Like, just don't put yourself in a cave hole and you'll be fine. Like, that's not anything to be scared of. Well, yeah, I said that weird, but you know what I mean. Like, just don't go doing that, and you don't have to be scared about it.
It's so true, and yet I am terrified of it. I think just even seeing it, I feel like I can't breathe. Anyways, so Wren says, I could just walk away and leave you here to die. And perhaps my favorite line in this entire book takes place because Cross mimics her and is like, I could just climb back up. And I just thought that was so funny.
I did too. Very
It's
clever.
like, it reminds me of Michael Scott when he's like, you unzip your pants and you find a calculator down there. How I pictured him just absolutely flaming her.
Just roasting Toby. That's just my favorite.
So they walk through the cave, and at one point, his source dies, and they're in the dark for a moment. Wren's actual thoughts, and I cannot believe this was written into the book, I was dying, was, it didn't bother me. I'm at home in the dark. I was like, okay, Bane. I live in the dark. Raised in it.
I was born in the darkness.
Yeah. Love the darkness.
I don't think I've met anyone who does a worse Bane impression until just now.
Than me?
Oh, like,
you should hear my Donald
good.
Duck.
You have a bad Donald Duck too?
I don't think it's bad, and yet I've not met a person that's like, that's so good. I actually think it's so good. Okay, give me something to say. Give me something to say.
Say, hey, you guys. Oh my gosh. That is terrifying. That was like the opposite of ASMR. That hurt. That was painful.
It feels good to do. I love doing.
Yeah, Ellie, I'm gonna be honest. That's not great. I will say though,
and I think all of you are wrong, and that's how he'll all die on. I don't think you're hearing what I'm hearing.
I think you're not hearing what everyone else is hearing. I think that's the problem. The reason I was like surprised to hear that is because my sister, specifically with Donald Duck, she has now come to understand that is not good. But she, like you, for a long time was like, I do a great Donald Duck, and hers is still worse than yours by far. I do her impersonation perfectly, but this is what she thinks Donald Duck sounds like. I kid you not, I will get a video of her doing this, and this is what it is. Hey, you guys! That is
hey, it's me, Donald Duck.
That is literally what she did for the longest time. And I'm like, she's actually pretty good with impressions. Like, she does Mickey Mouse, like, spot on. She does a lot of them really well.
Oh.
And then that came out of her mouth.
I also do Mickey Mouse spot on. But that one's real.
Okay. Well, anyways,
Ready?
We don't need... Okay, go ahead.
No, you have to. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's me, Mickey Mouse.
It's me, a Mickey Mouse. All right. We have to continue. We cannot stay here.
Mickey Mouse.
Some Mickey Mouse. They finally reach their destination and they walk into a cavernous chamber. The walls are covered in a sea of flowers that are glowing. Holy
Love the
Ilio.
imagery.
Also,
Holy Ili-
I
Did
can
you
only
see that?
assume. I haven't seen it. No.
Oh.
So I can only assume.
Oh, it does seem like that would be in that movie. I also have not seen it, so.
Well, Cross explains that the flowers are not glowing, but rather the Daggerstone behind it. Wren thinks of the history lesson so that we, as the reader, can get a little background on Daggerstone. So it's a hybrid resource that existed only after the war due to the radiation. It almost always is white, though she did see someone with a blue Daggerstone pendant once, several shades darker than cobalt. And I don't know why that this was so detailed and this description was so direct. It seems so suspicious to me, though. And I wonder if that's going to end up coming back some way, somehow.
Yeah, I thought about that. But same thing as you. I was like, it's odd that we're getting this much explanation on something that we don't know anything about.
Mm-hmm.
But for the time being, I can't possibly see how that matters. So it's more
Right.
just putting that in a box and shoving it away for later.
And it's so late in the book that I doubt it's going to be
Yeah.
like, and we found a cure and it's the Daggerstone within the next 6 chapters. I'm like,
Exactly.
I'll just tuck this away. Well, Cross and Wren share a romantic...
I'm not done.
Yeah.
Hold on. Also, how odd would it be if the cure for mods would be a genetically modified substance? Because the Dragonstone didn't exist before whatever whatever toxin caused mods. And so I'm not saying it could be, it totally could be. I'm just like the irony of the fact that something that is genetically
I'm just going to be honest.
the cure.
When it's a fictional disease, a fictional cure does not shock me in any way.
That's true.
Be
there
it
has to be some logic
something that was
behind it
also
to me,
produced from the radiation. Yeah, but
guess.
I don't know if it's going to be the Daggerstone. I feel like it was just so specific, though, that
I
maybe
agree.
it helps fragmented minds. Maybe that's going to end up being something like that.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
I placed my nickels on that one. That's my thought.
Nickels. I think I'm more aligned with that thought process than like a full-on cure.
Yeah. Well, Cross and Wren share such a romantic moment in this cave, but it is rudely interrupted when his wrist vibrates from an alert. Suddenly, he tells her they need to go. There's an emergency with his mother. There's no time to drop Wren off, and so the two of them are headed to the general's house. On the way, Wren reaches out to Adrian to let her know that she's about to infiltrate the home of the top enemy. This conversation only serves, in my opinion, to prove my last theory that the uprising sucks and that Wren is going to end up starting a fire and leading her own revolution with a more pure sense of freedom and equality for mods and primes. Because
100%.
first, Adrian is excited, but then mentions and to think we didn't want you, really doubling down on the fact that they don't value people unless they're beneficial to the cause. She goes on to joke about assassinating the general, but then clarifies that would be useless because a dead general doesn't dismantle the system. If they want change, they need to deprogram the minds and root out the ideology. Yeah. And Wren thinks to herself, interesting, because that's almost an exact repeat of what General Redden says during his broadcasts. And to me, there it is.
Exactly.
This is President Kaine and Snow. This is two bads, one slightly more just in their sense, but both bad. And
no,
so
it's just different. I wouldn't even say slightly more just. They're two sides of the same coin, just fighting for the opposite. Because I guarantee you, if the uprising were to overthrow the general, it would probably
they'd make
end
the
up.
Mods the big.
I was just gonna say,
the
people that he overthrew and made mods, the president. I don't remember his name, but the president that was before the general, who made lots of excuses for mods and put mods on a pedestal and stuff, and so that's what made the general so mad. It would honestly probably go back to being just that, and there would not be a happy medium, and there couldn't be.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's where my nickels are at as well. I've got probably 6 nickels and 1 is on the other, and this is here, and I have 4 more to spend. Wren reaches the McMansion of the Redden family, and it's like this. I don't know why I said McMansion. It felt right to me.
I liked
it. Felt fancier. Well, The mansion is not one to like regardless. It's a sterile mausoleum of home. And I just got the quote immediately. He's really made this home a house.
I love it. It made me think of per Ellie's suggestion, if you guys have paid attention to our Instagram stories this last week, she watched the show We Are Liars.
The
on
new
Amazon.
one? The new
the
the new house they built?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
totally.
Ellie started watching We Are Liars, so I had to start watching We Are Liars. If Regina George is watching it, I have to watch it. And so I was like, Ellie was like, oh my gosh, the last episode wrecked me. So I was like, say less. And I started it almost immediately. And in the episode, without giving too much away, essentially they have this like super charming, really cool beach house. And they completely tear it down and rebuild it. And it's like this like crazy modern, like not homey feeling place at all. And that's exactly the vibe that I got from how she described this.
Yes, that is so spot on.
Thank
10
you.
out of 10 definition, yes. So Cross leaves Wren on the first floor and asks her to wait so that he can check on his mother. Wren uses that time to literally, what I do in all of my friends' houses, open all of the drawers and doors that she can and spy and see what they have.
Well, and this is where I'm just like, I just need Wren to pick a lane. Because on one hand, she's like, oh, I can't do this. There's cameras. And then there'll be a situation like this where she's in the home of the top enemy, the general, the person who could literally have her executed for no reason other than breathing wrong in his direction.
Yeah.
And she's at his house and she's like, cameras be damned, I'm gonna look. I'm like, who are
I know.
Pick a side. Like the
I know.
inconsistencies is driving me nuts. But if that's not realistic, I don't know what is, because there are days where I'm like, no, I couldn't possibly. And then there are days where I'm like, I'm feeling spicy. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. Well, all the doors are locked with fingerprint locks, and everything else that she opens, like drawers, it's just so normal. There's no intel. Reminds me of Sponge when he's like, hi, I'm normal. But in a very depressing way. So she feels bad for the Redden boys because this is genuinely just how they grew up, and that is depressing.
Well, she felt bad for Cross and Travis, but she actually almost was like, I think Ro might have dodged a bullet. Like, which is so true.
For sure. So she feels bad, but not bad enough to mind her own beeswax, because the next thing we know, she's headed upstairs to eavesdrop. And she finds doors that lead to a room with actual personality in the house. The room is blue. It's cozy. It's cute. Surprise, surprise. It's Vinessa's room. Mm-hmm. Cross is beside Vinessa, telling her that she needs to eat, when Vinessa suddenly turns and sees Wren, but there is a complete absence of emotion. Her gaze goes from confused to vacant, and confused and vacant, back and forth, and Wren realizes that she's seen that type of expression in the fragmented minds of mods. Cross's mother is modified. Chapter 44. Vinessa slaps both hands over her ears and cries in anguish. Cross tries to comfort her, but Wren wants an explanation as well. She's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
He leads her out of the room, and Wren immediately asks if she's aberrant. Cross answers, no, she's schizophrenic.
Yeah,
and
right.
Where have we heard that before? Yeah. So he goes into Vanessa's health history, and Wren pries more, asking if he's sure that she's not aberrant. He says she's not because her veins don't turn silver, and we all know that doesn't necessarily matter, but I'm also really thinking here that Cross is then aberrant, and this gene of not showing telepathy physically must have been like passed down to him. That's where I'm getting like this connection.
Oh, possibly. I mean, honestly, that part, I took that more as like that's not proof. If anything, actually, this conversation was like, for me, it was like, is Cross actually? Because, like, if he's doubling down on all of this, that would mean that, I don't know.
He's trying to reject it more.
I didn't really doubt it, but I was more focused on his mom, I think, in this conversation, and like, okay, I roll at the schizophrenia thing because I'm sure like symptoms may be similar or whatever, but like, for me, all of this really clicked as far as why the general would have had those like secret parts of the hospital where they're testing things on fragmented mods. That didn't make any sense to me why he would be doing that. It didn't make any sense to Wren when she first saw it. Like, it just, honestly, they felt like test animals, which, to be fair, they kind of are. But now it makes total sense to me. Like, the general is not an idiot. Like, he has to know that this isn't truly schizophrenia.
She asks, like, does your father know about this? And Cross was like, well, like, he knows, but he knows she's not like Maud. He knows that she's schizophrenic, and that's why he hid her away and hid her in that room. And my mind immediately went to where you're going, like, of course he knows, and that's why he's testing on these people. Yeah,
exactly. So, like that now. So now it's all coming together. But I will say one thing that was a little, I guess maybe I don't know if I need more of an explanation or if I'm even ever going to get one. But one thing that was a little surprising to me was the fact that and I know, I'm sure you're about to go into this. I don't want to get too far ahead, but the explanation that Cross gives about her diagnosis and everything, about how she was normal and fine until like a certain age, and then like the last 5 years she's essentially been catatonic and like doesn't speak. And to me, I guess I just assumed if someone was fragmented that happened immediately, so they would have been fragmented since they were a kid. Not that it was something that could deteriorate your mind over time, because to me that's scarier than just becoming fragmented. Because I mean, in theory, then it could happen to anyone. Not so much of like, oh, if it didn't happen to you right away, you're safe, like you're good. Which I guess that's kind of what I was thinking.
Well, Cross says Vinessa hasn't said a word since he was 17, and that she is General Redden's truest weakness. They're here today because Vinessa is refusing to eat, and when that happens, she typically needs like a feeding tube. So Wren offers to help feed her, acting as a nurse, and they do try it. Vinessa responds well, and she starts to eat, so then Cross takes over. Wren tries to open a path to Vinessa, but she receives a hot stab of pain in response. Wren says that a fragmented mind is just pure chaos, like you cannot lock onto it. Then, Wren shifts her gaze to the wall where an oil painting hangs. And as soon as she said painting, I was like, oh no, Melissa's going to be insufferable.
I am insufferable.
This was it, ladies and gentlemen. She's done it, just as Melissa predicted. The painting is of a tranquil sea in a cove with a lone sailboat. Wren realizes she knows this scene. It's been described to her before, many times by Wolf.
And I just want to say, I am being so, no. I am being so serious. I swear on everything that I am, I did not read ahead. That truly was a theory that I had. And I can't even tell you where it came from. I think it was the way that he said, when the first time he was, or one of the times he was talking about the ocean, the episode where I came up with that theory, I really think it was the way he was talking about it, because it's peaceful. Like, it always is. Like, I'm like, what's always peaceful? Like, nothing is always peaceful except a painting, like, or something that doesn't move. And oh man, I feel so validated right now.
Good job.
Feels good.
Well, Wren is spiraling. She's like, no flipping way. She starts to think of the Punnett square, when we learned it in biology, and she's calculating the odds that Cross is a mod if his mother is one. But she's like, it's random. There's no guarantee that a mod parent can produce a mod child. That just doesn't make sense. So then my theory about like, oh, maybe Cross is mod, but no, but also maybe yes. So, but maybe that painting is too much of a coincidence for her to be like, it's not him. So she lists a coincidence because she's like, oh, you know what a coincidence is? It's like the fact that the command officers who came to my ranch to watch me shoot just happened to know Jim from 15 years ago and happened to recognize him. That's a coincidence. Ma'am, no. The fact that you brought that up again, that's not a coincidence. Someone betrayed you. I'm going to bet it's Tana.
Yes. 100%. That is... it's actually funny that you say that. That's not where my mind went as far as like a betrayal. For me, it was more of okay, so it's opposite day because you're describing things that aren't a coincidence. That is like, I mean, I guess on a technicality it is, but if we're talking about odds, like in the sentence right before this, like
Yeah.
1 in 3 million. Like, that's not...
Yeah.
Not
crazy.
A remote chance. Not something I would consider a coincidence. A coincidence to me is like, well, now I can't think of anything. I can't even think of an English word off the top of my head. But like something like, oh, I wore yellow today and so did Ellie. What a coincidence. We're both wearing the same color. Like, that's a coincidence. Not,
sure.
oh, my uncle got recognized from 15 years ago and now he's dead. That's not a coincidence. That's crap luck. That's what that is.
Well, we'll maybe I would love to get that answer before the book ends.
Yeah.
I do feel like because that one's been in the mix since literally chapter 2, I think, that we could. But I would love an answer nonetheless. So if it comes book 2, book 3, that's fine. I just want to know.
That'd be a fun cliffhanger if that's like the way this ends is like, and then she found out it was Tana, but like the end or something like.
Well, Wren tucks the thought away for a few days, the fact that Cross could be Wolf, and moves like a zombie while she chews on this. She thinks, well, actually could be, because I had a theory here and I'm excited to share it with you. So she thinks about his mother. Mind you, my theory here was present day Ellie theory, reading this in the moment. I obviously know after reading the full 6 chapters, it couldn't possibly be true, but I still wanted to share it. So she thinks about his mother and thinks, does Ro know? She suspects that he's in the dark, and here comes my theory. I'm just going to be candid. I do not like the idea that Cross is Wolf, because that means that there's genuinely no like huge twist for us, and I live for the twist. But I was wondering if Wolf could still be Ro at this point, because I came up with this insane theory. What if Ro is actually part of the uprising, and the uprising gave him the directive that Betema needed to be killed? Because that would explain why Ro was like absolutely psycho. He thought Wren, because they're obviously not telling each other who is all in the uprising. So if he thought Wren was loyal to command, then he had to put on a show and be like, she's aberrant. I'm going to get her. And then what if he knew?
Even if that wasn't the case, Anson was up there. So like he still would have had to do that. Like
exactly. And then what if he knew about Vinessa, like her fragmented mind, bonded with her secretly because they're both mods, and then snuck in to spend some time with her? He could be the one describing the painting as well. But I was just throwing crap at the wall because I'm desperate for a bigger twist than the very first guest that we had in the literal chapter 1. As soon as we met Cross, you and I both said, we can go back to the episode. Bet that's Wolf. Yeah. So I was a little bummed, but it's all good. It was still a fun reveal. I still liked it.
Yeah.
So Cross strides towards Wren and invites her to his quarters that evening. Wren agrees, but has yet to hatch a plan to find out if he is Wolf. She joins Kaine, Lash, and Ivy for lunch, loved this, and realizes that Lash is eating with one hand, the other is on Ivy's knee. Okay.
I like this, but it felt like I'm going to need more from this either later in this book or the next, like as far as why it was needed to be included.
You know what it gave to me, which maybe leans back towards, is R.Y., the author of this book. It gave Catriona and I forget the guy's name that she was into.
Well, he's toast now, so it really doesn't.
Yeah,
quite
he's
matter.
Toast.
It was Traeger.
But him.
Yeah, because remember I kept calling
smoked meat.
I kept calling him smoked meat.
In poor taste now that we know what happened. But
well, yes, but to be fair, I didn't know that was going to happen, and his name is Traeger.
Yes. So that's what I felt like this little tangent love story was happening gave. But Wren heads to Cross's room. When she gets there, they talk a little biz, but then they get down to biz. And she thinks about how badly she wants him to be Wolf, because that really would solve everything. If he was on her side, they could be together. And he thinks about her. He tells her he thinks about her every second of the day. He says it's a weakness. Very General Redden of him, but in like a cutesy way.
Yeah.
She says she doesn't want to be his weakness, and he says too late. This sounds like that sound bit to me where you're like, woo, and clapping. But then when it comes down to like some battle and Cross nearly dies because Wren is his weakness, you're like, ooh, you know?
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So after they spend some quality time, cough, cough, Wren is desperate to ask, if he's Wolf. She thinks about how he hardly ever sleeps, and then the plan hits her. And I really liked what happened next. I thought it was so smart. Yeah. She starts by asking if he's still only getting a few hours of sleep, and he's like, yeah. And she goes, there was a time where I used to only get a few hours of sleep.
I like how she specific. Also, there was a time when this very Sponge-esque.
Yeah, I remember when I used to get some sleep.
No, but I liked how she was like, "Oh, are you still only getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep?" And he goes, "Sometimes 5." I'm like, okay. I just his response. It was so inconsequential. I just liked his response. Was like, "Yeah, like sometimes 5. Like that's still not a lot, my dude. I can't function if I only get 5 hours of sleep."
No. Well, so once again, she's like, I remember when I used to get some sleep. I used to have a recurring nightmare. And he asks what it was. Catch and bait. No, bait and catch. Yikes.
There it is.
And she's like, the nightmare that Wolf knows all too well. At the quarter point of her telling him the nightmare, his hand that was like combing through her hair stills in her hair. And as soon as it stopped, I was
Absolutely.
like, that's it. That's it.
As soon as
at the
that's
halfway
what did
point
it for you. The painting. Since the painting, I've been like, it's him.
At the halfway point, his hand slides out of her hair. And I was like, we're done. We're toast. He ends up cutting her off right before the end of her story by flipping her on her back and holding a knife to her throat. He snarls when he says, "Who are you?" And that's how that chapter ends.
This.
But I loved it. Who are you?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick though, I did want to ask. It's clear why she couldn't outright ask Cross, like, "Are you Wolf?" because it would give so much away. But I'm not clear on why she couldn't have asked Wolf, "Are you Cross?"
I think, yeah, you're right. Like, she totally could have. I just think, first off, he would have had to accept her link. And second of all, if it wasn't him and she's just like, imagine this. You and me don't know each other, but we speak telepathically. I think I'm meeting you in real life. And then all of a sudden you just get a link for me and just go, "Are you Shelby?" You'd be like, what? Like, I think it would just, it's like, it wouldn't probably cause that much of a problem, but like at the same time, I think it would just cause way more questions than answers, and then you'd have to they don't know anything about each other in real life.
But I think
like,
that's easily explainable to be like,
is it?
"Oh,
She's
I
never
have
lied
a friend."
To him, though. I mean,
if she wants to
of,
keep
like,
that
white
ruse up,
lies.
sure. But if she doesn't have to lie, she could say, "I have a friend, not a lie, who has a painting that is so similar to what you've been describing to me. I was just so curious if I had, for some like twist of fate, been meeting you." Yeah,
you're totally right. I just,
I like the way
too
she did
logical
it.
for
It
these
was dramatic.
books. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well,
chapter 46. Wren is acting like a psycho, but to be fair, I was doing the exact same thing when my theory was confirmed. Again, I told you, insufferable. Just wait for it. She was laughing like a crazed lunatic while Cross held a blade to her throat. Cross is still just being like, "Who are you?" He just keeps asking her.
yeah.
But then instead of answering him, Wren just asked him a question. A simple one, but one that was damning. She asked him, "Is your favorite animal still a wolf?" And that made Cross freeze like he was Elsa in the middle of a snowstorm.
Random.
Wren continued. Yeah, I don't know. It was the first thing that came to mind. Okay, I guess this is why I thought of her. My 2-year-old, like, all of a sudden this week has gotten really into Olaf, so we've watched Frozen a lot. So maybe that's why I was like top of mind. Except she says Elof. So now I've been calling him Elof. Anyway.
Did you watch that Frozen Broadway show?
Yeah, it's good.
I loved it. I loved
really
it.
liked it. Yeah,
Do you know?
I
Okay.
didn't finish
Have
it.
you
I
seen?
watched the first half of it.
That's okay. Have you seen Les Mis, the movie with Hugh Jackman?
Obviously. Hugh Jackman.
Huge. You know Eponine, Marius's friend that can't have him, that pines? Elsa. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
her?
Yeah.
She looks so different.
She's
It's also
blonde.
been a while since I've seen Les Mis. Well, it's a wig, thanks. But it's been a while since I've seen Les Mis, so I maybe need to brush up on what she actually looks like. Eddie Raymond's friend, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is one of Anne Hathaway's most convincing roles ever.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Anyways, Wren continues by saying that her favorite flower isn't a daisy anymore, but it used to be before they overtook the fields at her farm, causing the cows to not have enough grass to eat. Cross is beside himself and just asks her how. He's just like, how? How? Wren doesn't really have any answers for him and tells him that she only figured it out the other night in his mom's room looking at the painting. Cross hugs her and then speaks to her telepathically. They have a really sweet moment together before Wren, Captain Obvious, points out that he's modified. And they're just like having a moment and she goes, so you're modified? And that like kills the vibe 100%. Cross says that literally no one else knows. Daisy, quote unquote, was the only person that he had ever linked with and the only person he's ever spoken to telepathically. He says telepathy is his only gift is the only gift that he has, and he doesn't think that he's very strong. But
I didn't
mark
believe
my
this
words,
for a
I
second.
don't buy it. I am not picking up what he is putting down because
I don't think he's going to be as strong as Wren is or end up will being by the end of the series, hopefully if our thoughts are true. But
Yeah.
I do wonder if he has inciting. I can't prove it yet. I feel like I need to go back through the book to like think about if he's ever convinced someone to do something, but I'm wondering if he's like one of the other ones who can help train her.
So here's we're on the same path. We started taking a little bit of a variance towards the end, but we are simpatico. This is literally what I wrote in my outline. I actually think he's telling the truth. I do think that telepathy is his only gift that he knows of and that he really doesn't think he's that powerful. But I think that's just because he hasn't tried using his gifts. He says she's the only one he's ever linked with. He's never even attempted to do it again. Well, yeah, like, pardon my French, but no shit, Sherlock. You're not going to be more powerful if you never practice. Like, obviously, you're not a very powerful one. And so I just, either way,
that's what my parents said to me about my piano lessons. You're not going to be very powerful if you don't practice.
Either way, I am with you. I don't think he'll ever end up being as powerful as Wren, even if that's not his only gift. Like, I mean, I'm full send on the theory, like you, where she's going to develop all of the powers, and more evidence of that later on in my couple chapters. But I don't think he's going to be as powerful as her, but I still think that he is more powerful than he realizes. But I also don't think he's lying about, I think that's the only one he knows about right now, truly. So that's where I landed on that. But everyone, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to drink, because it only took 2 pages into this chapter before Wren decides to lie again when Cross asks her what her gifts are. And she tells him that telepathy is her only gift as well. I'm just like, at this point, I don't know why she lied. Like, I understand the not telling him about the incitement thing. I just don't get why she didn't tell him that she has more than one. Like, it is what it is,
I know.
but I don't get it. Cross immediately brings up the incitement incident at Jim's execution, and Wren was like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Like, right away. Like every guilty person. But she does tell him another lie, bottoms up, that it was her uncle. She tells him truths about incitement and, like, her experiences with it. But she just lies and says that Jim was the one doing it in all the scenarios that she was talking about.
I would literally not be friends with Wren. I truly, like, I can't stand even, like, a white lie from a friend. Like, it really is, like...
Yeah.
It messes with me a lot.
Well, and
if I found out that she was like this much of a liar, like even sometimes she comes back and like, oh, actually I told a little bit of the truth, but this is actually what really happened. And then she still lies through that. Like this, for example.
Yeah.
I simply could not be friends. I would be so angry.
Well, and I understand most of the lies that she's told throughout this book so far, because, like, it truly was a life or death situation. She didn't know. He's the general's son. I mean, like, obviously she's not going to tell him the truth about a lot of this. Mm-hmm. But now she knows that he's mod as well, and that, like, I know she doesn't know a ton about it yet, and I don't know. It's just, like, she has something on him now, too. It's not like... oh, she's just being, like, bearing all her secrets to him, and now he's going to be able to hold one over on her. She has just as much to hold over him. So it's not like he has any incentive to go out and tell on her. You know, I don't know. That was just, to me, I'm just like, we're still lying. Girl, like, I think it's pathological at this point. I'm thinking it's a character flaw. Like, I don't even think it's life
preventive. Yeah, it's not a
isn't.
like self preservation thing. I think it's just you like to lie.
I think you are just
Anyways.
a liar. I watched this docu-series. I can't remember the exact title, but it was something like the marriage what I searched, it was on Netflix, and what I searched to pull it up was murder marriage, and it was like the first thing. And it was essentially about this lady who originally was an au pair for this family and ended up marrying the husband, and then they moved. She went to Ireland to be the au pair. No.
Oh, okay.
No. She went to, her name was Molly Martin. She went over to Ireland to be the au pair for this husband who had just lost his wife and his 2 young children. And then they ended up getting together, getting married, and then they moved back to the States. But, like, him and his children were Irish citizens. They were not American. Like, she was the only American, and they moved here. And they were here for a while, but, like, the whole thing is that the husband ended up being brutally murdered. She's claiming self-defense, and her dad, like, helped her kill him.
She murdered him?
Her and her dad killed him, and they claim it was self-defense, that he was attacking her. But, like, the crime scene, like, everyone you talk to is like, this was genuinely, in my, like, entire career of law enforcement, the most disgusting and, like, brutal scenes I've ever seen. Like, they hit him so many times over the head that the coroner couldn't even determine what blunt force trauma there was, because when he touched his head, part of his skull came off. Like... that's what I'm like, it was like so much overkill. It was not self-defense. Like, and anyways, I don't buy for 1 second the lies that she was telling, but she is a pathological liar. It came out, like, during the investigation that she had told women in their book club that she gave birth to the daughter. The daughter was like 1 when she met her. Again, daughter's an Irish citizen. She's not American. And the crazier thing is, like, half the people in this book club knew that wasn't true, but the other half didn't. And in front of everyone, she's lying to all of them. But, like, half the people know she's lying. I don't know. That's just what this was giving to me. Like, just that girl is a pathological liar. She has lied about a lot of stuff. And that's just now Wren is, like, starting to, like, look like that to me without being quite as crazy. But
that's
getting back to the story. But I can
see how that would be top of mind. Yikes.
Wren also admits to him that she did know that Jim was modified. He is amazed that she was able to shield against Jade Valance, saying that she is so good, like Jade is so good, that he has seen her read the mind of someone 1,000 yards away. All Jade needs is for them to be in her eyesight, and she's able to draw their energy to her. So to that, I respond by saying, take notes, Wren, because you will be able to do this at some point in the story as well.
I don't know if you're going to end up talking about this, but when he said that, I was like, well, how did you fend her off? Like, is your shield... Well, Wren did say his shield was impeccable, but... Is it that impeccable?
So I actually do. I can't remember where. I do bring that up at some point. But it is. I don't remember where I bring that up. But I promise we will get into that a little bit more at some point too. Oh, actually, it's right here. Here it is. I wrote, also, I know she never would have suspected him, but do we think it's crazy that she never picked up on Cross being a mod and read his mind? Here's my thought process. Like, I get it. We do. Like, I get that she would have to have reason to do it. But, like, you're telling me this guy is as attractive as he is, and you've never just wanted to know what he was thinking. Like, okay. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't for 1 second buy that Jay doesn't just, like, try to read people's minds just because she can. Because I would absolutely do that if I had that ability. I don't care about invasion of privacy. I mean, I do, but that's not going to stop me from doing it because I'm also the nosiest person I know. So I don't buy for 1 second that she didn't pick up on the fact that he was a mod.
Oh my gosh.
Cross then asks Wren if she's working for the Uprising, and she finally tells the truth and admits that she is. But she does say that it's a recent development, and he gathers that she was the one to blame for knowing where the weapons cache was. Wren tells him that she knows his mom is a mod and that she's fragmented, which he doesn't want to believe. But like we talked about earlier, like it just makes so much more sense about the whole testing facilities and all of that stuff. The only thing Cross is holding on to is that her veins don't turn silver. But Wren claps back by saying that's not a real reason, and he knows it, since neither of their veins have turned silver in this whole conversation, even when they were speaking telepathically to one another.
Yeah.
Bummed our listener's theory about, I don't remember who exactly it was, but someone had a theory about his tattoos covering up his veins.
The tattoo one. I was just going to say that. Yeah. Like, oh, I loved that theory though, but
that's, I literally put in here. I'm like, I'm really bummed that theory wasn't true in the sense that like, that's why he had them, because I loved that theory.
I do wonder though, if, he has a red mark, like a powerful aberrant mark, and that a tattoo covers that, and that he's also lying about his telepathy, like just being telepathy.
Possibly. I don't know if I think that, but maybe. But I was just more or less wanted to bring up that I wish that theory was true. Because
yeah, that was a good one.
I mean, we called it that he was going to be of the same variation of mod as her, where his veins didn't glow or whatever. But Cross then begs Wren to not tell the uprising about him, because they will absolutely use that information against the general, and Cross will be as good as dead at that point. Wren is like, okay, yeah, sure, but like you should approach them. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, that is literally the same thing.
Did you not listen?
Listen, Linda, I said no, that's not a good idea. But she was like, yeah, no, like you approach them and like offer to work with them, it'll be different. I'm like, it's not, but okay. But he agrees. He was like, absolutely not. He says that he does more good being within the trust and on the inside of command. And he also, even in his current station, like he doesn't ever kill mods. He only ever sends them to labor camps. Arguably, that's not like better. I mean, it is better because he's not killing them, but like still a really crappy outcome. Yeah. But I digress. I also really got the impression after all this conversation that like he doesn't want to kill people just for what they are. But I don't really think he identifies as a mod. I mean, I think he like ignores it enough to where it's not something. It's not like Wren, where she's like, these are my people. I really don't think he feels that way. It was never said that, but that's the vibe that I got from him.
I question his loyalty, especially when Wren was lying to him, because clearly, even subconsciously, she questions his loyalty as well. But being like raised with your family, raised with your friends in this community of primes for so long, being like fed that mods are so evil, whatever. I just question if he's not like, yeah, but I might have this, but it's kind of the same as like having a cold, but I'm one of you.
It's like the same as having a cold. Well, suddenly, Cross gets a comm saying that an uprising fighter jet just crashed near one of their weapons depot, and they have to leave immediately. Chapter 47. Cross briefs everyone, and everyone on being Tyler, Struck, Xavier, Ford, Kaine, No Name / Noah Jones, Wren, and Cross himself. He's briefing them while they're all flying to the crash site. The weapons depot the jet crashed near is no longer in commission, so Cross thinks that they have old intel. When they get there, Wren thinks to herself that something feels off, but she doesn't say anything, which is lesson number 1. Always say it out loud. Vampire. You have to say it. You have to say it out loud.
Say it out loud.
See something, say something. Like you have to verbalize it. But they don't, or she doesn't, and they split into 2 teams. Tyler, Kaine, and No Name Jones, and Cross, Xavier, and Wren / Dove / Daisy. I love all her aliases.
Yeah.
Cross, Xavier, and Wren are scoping out the jet when the other group says that they found blood, so they're headed to the main building over their comms. Once they get there, Tyler, over the comms, tells Cross that something isn't right, and all of a sudden, boom, there is an explosion. And the comms go eerily quiet. And this got me. Xavier started panicking. And so does Wren, honestly, knowing that Kaine was with that group. Both Xavier and Wren are trying to get Tyler and Kaine to answer them over their comms, but it is silent. They do not get a response. Wren decides enough is enough, and she's going in, and she's looking for him. But after like 5 steps, Cross grabs her and just pulls her back. And just in time, because a second explosion then goes off. It was a sugar bomb, and the second one leveled the building. Wren is thinking to herself that it was possible they could have maybe survived the first bomb, but there is no way anyone survived that second one. Xavier is really upset, and his reactions and emotions got me throughout this whole little section.
Yep.
It really got me more than anything else. Like, honestly, more than knowing that Kaine died, because I don't think he's dead, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But his raw reactions to Tyler dying was so sad.
It was so sad.
I know.
Okay. I know we'll get into this, so I won't go there either. But I wasn't that upset, because I feel like the writing was not meant for us to be that upset. Like, it wasn't this deep, like, I had my dying breath moment and I wanted to have a conversation.
Well, it was just so fast.
Like, it was so fast, and I don't know. Like, I feel like if Kaine and Wren had a last conversation where he was like, you know what, I really love, like, you being in this program with me. You've been such a great friend, whatever. Then you have that memory to be like, Kaine! But the fact that it was like, haven't talked to him in a bit, had lunch, but I was kind of like dazed out because I was thinking about Wolf, and then boom, he's dead. I wanted to cry because I am so attached to Kaine. Obviously, I love him, but I wasn't there. And for good reason, I think. So go on.
Well, once again, something is still feeling off, and Cross is like, there's still something not right. And Wren's like, they see something, and someone, I think Cross is like, I think that's a plane. So Wren is like, well, we need to get to the airfield because we just need to know what's going on. So they're making a run. They're hiking back through the forest. They're getting back to their jets. As soon as they approach the planes, they realize that one of the B-8 jets that they took here is missing. It was a trap-a-rooney. And here's where theory time comes in. And I know Ellie is going to agree with me on most, if not all of this. Mm-hmm. Kaine is not dead. He is Grayson Blake, as I suggested in a previous episode when he was like, oh yeah, I mean, Grayson never had to have been someone else.
That guy never misses.
Guy's great. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. No body, no death. The fact that we literally pointed out, oh, he said, no, like, that guy is so great. He's Grayson Blake. He just took off. But what I didn't go to, I figured he was saved. But you, when we were texting about this earlier, you mentioned all of them were part of the uprising. I had not gone there, and my mind was blown.
Yeah, and I actually don't know if I'm going to get into that too much. I more or less want to talk about Kaine's involvement in this but yes, I would love for that to be the case as well. However, I guess I'll get into that since I didn't write it down. I'll get into that here just for a second. I said I would love if all 3 of them were, because I love that Struck was like fairly high up. I would love to find out that even if she's a prime, just like she just identifies with the movement. Yeah. Kaine is Grayson, and at this point you can't convince me otherwise. And Jones, and we're gonna get into this in a little bit, but like come to find out, his dad's like a pretty powerful capitalist within the where they live, and I just would love the irony of his only son being so against everything his dad stands for. I don't even know who his dad is, but I just like that. I love rebellion.
It makes sense, though, fun. If his dad is this cold, hard person, similar to
the general.
What's her name? Blair? No, who did she fight and kill?
Bryce.
Bryce, yeah, similar to her dad. It would make sense that he'd be like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna join the other side.
Yeah. Well, back to my theory though about this. This is more my theory about like what actually happened. So Kaine, like I said, Kaine's not dead. He's actually Grayson. He's the one who stole the jet, but he's also the one who set off the second bomb. I think the first bomb was planted by whoever set up the stage crash. And then the second one was set off by Kaine so that he could give himself enough time to get away and steal that B-8 jet that they had come over on.
Yeah.
Because like Ellie said, no body, no death. SJM taught me that little number. And anyways, then Cross speaks with her telepathically and demands to know if she knew about this, but she answers honestly and says that she didn't. However, too little too late, you've lied too many times. He does not believe her.
And
2 days later,
good.
honestly,
She needs
he's
to learn.
learning.
Yeah.
And he's learning too. 2 days later, they hold the most impersonal funeral that has ever existed. However, Wren doesn't fail to notice that there's a man who seems to be Noah, not Noah, Jones's father, which she doesn't think is fair since Tyler and Kaine's families weren't in attendance. She notes that his dad is standing next to Travis, who seems to be having trouble containing the fury on his face. Wren hasn't spoken to Cross in 2 days, but she wants to make sure he understands that she truly did have nothing to do with this. So she follows him around at a distance, trying to find a time to get him alone. Eventually, she sees him leave and realizes that he's heading to his office, so she heads that way also. While all of this is happening, she links with Adrian and is upset that they didn't keep her in the loop. Adrian just simply puts her in her place real quick by reminding Wren that she works for them, not the other way around. Which, again, this whole conversation, too, is very much giving, like, bad uprising vibes, like what you said.
Points against the uprising. Yep.
Yeah. And Wren's genuine reaction of not knowing was best for them anyways. She said that Wren probably would have given away the surprise, which Wren was like, no, I wouldn't. But 100% she would have.
Wren's track record is not great.
I know. And Adrian is smarter than that. But the thing that was wild to me, though, is, like, they really don't care about. Like, this really just proves exactly what you said earlier, that they do not care about who is helping them as long as they're getting what they need out of it, because they didn't know, like, they didn't tell Wren any of this was happening. They didn't know that if Wren was going to be one of the casualties. Like, and I mean, I guess their goal wasn't necessarily to kill command officers, but their goal was to get the jet. But that was a huge bonus of this, too, is killing the enemy. Like, what if Wren was a part of the group that was in the warehouse that died? Like, they literally don't care about her at all.
And so that actually gave me pause, though, because the chances of Wren being part of the group, it caused me to flash back. Did they choose their groups when they were like, okay, we're going to split apart? Because if all three, Kaine, Tyler, and Noah, are all, like, part of the uprising and they all got away in that jet.
That's fair.
What are the odds that, like, what's the coincidence? Is that a likely coincidence that they were the three that were in the uprising? Or did they kind of, like, place themselves like, okay, we'll go and then you guys do this? So
that's true. Thought. We didn't get any detail as far as how the groups were split up. So I guess there's no way to, like, tell for sure. But then Adrian reassures her that they will still need Wren's help with whatever they have planned for the Silver Jubilee, although she still won't tell her what that is just yet. When Wren gets to Cross's office, she hears glass breaking and realizes that he is not alone. Travis, Travy boy, is in his office with him, and he is pissed. He wants to know how Cross let this happen. He doesn't understand what the point of his elite unit is if Cross is going to let his own people die in an ambush. However, Cross does not take this lying down and snaps back, accusing Travis for not knowing about this since he is an intelligence. And honestly, that is a fair point. The only thing Travis seems to care about, though, is the fact that the only son of Wexton Jones is dead, not anyone else. And Cross sees this for what it is. He tells Travis that, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, you're delusional if you think that our dad is really going to retire one day and just give you this role. He said, he's like, the general thinks that he is the only one who can keep people in order and contain the aberrant. And I love this. This, to me, is just giving so much more fuel to the fire for a Travis Redden villain origin story. And this is where I'm theorizing. After all of this, honestly, now I'm almost wondering if Travis is going to be the one to kill the general so that Travis himself can take the reins from him, since it sounds like the general isn't going to do that willingly. Which...
Good thought.
Oh, and, like, even more, like... This is jumping back a little bit to chapter 44 when she was in the house and Cross was telling her about living there and everything. Cross even makes a comment about, like, the general is so suspicious of everyone that they literally don't even let staff members in the house unless he has security guards there that can monitor what's going on. Yeah. And so I think that it's going to have to be someone he trusts implicitly, which seems to only be his kids and wife. If anyone's going to take him down, it's going to have to be one of them, because that's the only time he would even remotely let his guard down. So
for sure. Good thought.
But who knows? I'm just a girl. Just a thought on that outcome. But before Travis leaves, he tells Cross to fix this and find the people who took the plane. But I don't know. This also just really feels like, that feels way more of like an intelligence task to me.
Actually, I think that's your job.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just feels like something that intelligence would be more cut out for, because they would be the one to find the information and then just relay that to Cross, since they are boots on the ground, and then they would be the one. But I don't know. I'm not in military. I'm just a girl. So I don't know how that works. That just feels like it makes more sense to me. But all right, chapter 48. Wren goes to Cross's quarters and decides that enough is enough. The truth must come out. Mm-hmm. She then tells Cross everything, and I mean everything. She tells him the truth about how she came to be with Uncle Jim, and the truth about her parents. She tells him that they lived in the Blacklands for 3 years before getting set up in Ward Z. She tells him that Jim wasn't really working for the uprising, or at least, like, not at the time of his execution. And that she really did not... Oh, I forgot to write. And she really did not join the uprising until after Jim had died. And that he, in almost like an accusatory manner, was the one who forced her into the program. Mm-hmm. She also tells him that she lied to him about only having one gift, and that she actually has 4. Telepathy, mind reading, projection, and incitement. She also tells him how
That's a big deal, because this is the first person she's told she has incitement to outside of Jim. So she really trusts him. Yeah. Which she really trusted Wolf, so it makes sense. If it was just Cross, I'd be like, you're out of your gourd. But it does make more sense. That's where I'm just like, you knew he was Wolf when you first lied about only having telepathy. That's where I'm just like... But then, at this point, she's losing him. At that point, he was eating out of her hand. So, I don't know. This next part, though, what she does next, stupid to me. I think that is the dumbest thing. Wren also tells him about how Ellis, the healer, is an uprising operative also. Which, side note, this kind of feels like a really mild plot hole to me. Because she told him that she confirmed it with her contact before she went and saw him. But I distinctly remember earlier in this book when no one from the uprising would confirm who else was working for the uprising. Multiple times. I thought the exact same thing. Even as we were literally starting this episode, I was like, you know what's weird to me? I've literally, you have a million thoughts. I was like, she shouldn't have known that. Like, they specifically made a point to make sure nobody knows who is in. Exactly. So, I wrote in here, I'm like, eye roll shrug emoji, all right, but, whatever. But she went to see him to heal her scars, and sure enough, her blood mark is still there. She also confirms that the uprising doesn't know that she can incite. Only Jim knew, and now Cross and apparently Ellis, which, again, I don't know why. She's like, I had to tell him. I don't know why you didn't. Mm-hmm. She could have just lied and said that she had a different ability, or just said she had 3. She didn't have to tell him about the 4th one, but I don't know. Can I also add in, I think that having Ellis heal her, and I'm going to say it, I'm just going to call it out because we are just honest on this podcast, I think it's lazy writing. I think that just now being like, you know what? And now I just want to show him that I do have this mark. One, you could have just told him that you had all that. I know. What's he going to be like? No, you don't. Then you prove it. Okay, cool. Liar. But 2, if you really wanted that mark to show up, because I can only assume that it's going to be a plot point later on for them to be like, hey, you have that. Hey, what's going on? If you really wanted her to have that, then how about in the explosion when she ran in for Kaine, like she caught fire to her leg, or like she got more burns. Healed.
Yeah.
and had to be healed. And they were like, oh, it's over the additional scarring. Just heal all of it. She'll understand, like she passed out or something. And that's how he would have seen that and then been like, okay, I need to come clean to you or whatever. Maybe don't have him in there and just do this anyways. But this just to me, I was like, add in 5 more pages and write something better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that mean? I'm mean
no,
today,
I agree with you. I don't necessarily think I thought it was more plot holy than necessarily like lazy writing, but I agree with you. I do think like now that you're saying it, 100% I think it could have been handled a lot differently. But it's not like a big enough issue for me to where I'm like truly I'm more upset about the fact that Jones was sometimes called Noah Jones and sometimes Jones than I am about this. Like that really just sent me.
Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to keep harping because the more I talk about it, the more upset I am about it. She specifically and distinctly like talks about throughout the whole book how much it hurt to have that thing burned off, but how much she appreciated Jim now knowing like what it meant. And yet for a boy, over a split-second decision, you're going to be like, you know what? Actually, I'm just going to heal it real quick. Yeah. That kept you safe for decades. Are you dumb? Okay.
She's dense. That's it. She's pretty dense, and I'm going to get into that
here I'm losing
a little bit too.
I don't want to lose her with 6 chapters left, but man, I'm annoyed. All right.
Yeah. Well, get ready to be... I mean, you read this, so it's not like you're going to be new information or more annoyed, but...
I might be.
Yeah. Maybe just rehashing it. Cross agrees with us, honestly. He's upset with her that she healed herself, saying that she exposed herself now to her enemies. And Red's reaction absolutely sent me out of the stratosphere. I was like, you're kidding. She goes, oh yeah, whoops, I guess it did. It just seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Are you
again lazy writing kidding? To me because they have to have this conversation because she spent the whole book talking about why she wouldn't heal it and how great it was that she was covered. But and that one sentence justifies it. It's not good. That's all.
The fact that she was like, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right." Like, are you kidding? No way. You're kidding me. You've had to live in hiding literally your whole life and you're telling me you didn't think this one decision through about how that would literally expose you. I don't believe it. I don't really believe that happened.
No.
And that response, but also her response, the way she responded to that, to Ellie, makes me think that you're 100% right about this being the way that she gets exposed eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I didn't believe you before, but this really, for me, was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
She needs Cross to know that she had nothing to do with the ambush, and he finally believes her. He then tells her that he loves her, and I love this for them. It kind of came out of nowhere for me, but it was so cute, and I appreciate it for what it was. Cross apologizes for lashing out, and then tells Wren that he's more terrified than he's ever been because of what he feels for her. Wren admits that she loves him too, and they live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed Silver Elite. I know I did. I'm just kidding.
I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did.
Because I know I did. That's my life. I hope you enjoyed it. Just kidding. They start talking about Cross's tattoos, and Wren asks him what they are, which we don't really get a straightforward answer on, honestly. He says that they're not, she's like, are they angel wings? And he does say no. So then she's just like, oh, okay. So now they're not angel wings, they're bird wings. And he's just this kind of like, like that wasn't like, what? Like, no, you're not going to confirm it or deny it. Like, you're just kind of like, smiling and shrugging. Like, okay. Thank you, I guess.
Wait. I have a theory.
Go.
What if he actually, because I thought, it'd be interesting if he could tell the future, but that's not in this book. It is in this book. What if he has the gift of, what do they call it? It starts with an A. Seeing the future. What's the thing? It's not prophecy.
I can't think of what it is, but I'm laughing at you. You're like, it starts with an A. What, seeing the future. I don't remember. It starts with an A.
It's in Onyx Storm 2. It's no, it's not an A. Precognition.
Okay. I was like, alchemy? That's the only thing I can think of with an A, but I'm like, that has nothing to do with it.
Aberrant got mixed up in there.
Yep.
Okay. Which essentially means they can see just a tad into the future. What if he saw No, it wouldn't make sense because then he would know her. I hate this. Throw it out. I was gonna say, what if he like saw her, knew that like she was gonna be a significant part of his life, and so he got dove wings for her because he knew, but he wouldn't. So never mind.
Well,
Hate
also,
it. Scrap it.
Hate it. The only other thing is I'd have to go back and because I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to go back and look at our notes from the episode where we talk about it, but we go in, it gives us a little bit more detail into some of the, I don't think precog was one of them. I think it was just projection and, no, it was.
Because remember Jade Valance came in and was like, you're out of here. In 6 months time, you're going to kill 3 people.
Yeah. Well, I think there were more limitations around it than just being like Raven and just being like, and getting like a vision about
that was a big debate between us because we didn't know the limitations. We couldn't figure that out based off of the limited information we had.
Okay, so then never mind. I guess
so it could be, but it's probably not. I would think no because he would know who she was. So, anyways,
yeah.
Let's move on.
Cross says that the wings remind him of freedom, and then the flames that he has tattoos remind him of destruction. He also tells her the story of when he first got a tattoo and how the general made him get it removed. So naturally, he went back the next day and got a full sleeve as a metaphorical middle finger to his dad. Loved that. Wren asks him about the script tattooed, and he says that they're words and phrases that have stuck with him and lessons he's learned, moments that have changed him, which, again, just feels like a non-answer to me, but I guess it's something. But luckily, Cross is saved by the bell when Wren's ADHD kicks in, and she all of a sudden remembers that she needs to tell him that the uprising has something planned for Silver Jubilee. He's just like, yeah, moments in time. She's like, I forgot. They had the uprising. Yeah. They asked me about it. And I was like, that's just like so my relatable life. That's what I do all the time. But yeah, so she tells him that the uprising is something planned for the Silver Jubilee, but she doesn't know what it is. He stiffens because he knows that there's going to be civilians there, but she's like, they don't hurt civilians. And they go back and forth about that for a little bit. But his concern and her lack thereof makes me think that civilians will 100% be getting hurt in this, whatever they have planned. And this is going to be the catalyst for when Wren decides to step away from them and form her own little thing with Cross.
Yes!
Since he's a free agent who refuses to join the uprising. So that's my theory on that, 100%.
I like it. It makes so much sense. Phenomenal. Give me 4 more.
Thank you. I have 3 more nickels. Let's see where they land.
Yeah.
Actually, I have another little penny, I guess, not a nickel, a little half theory that's going to come out here in this next one. It's not really half theory. It's more just evidence to a previous theory, I guess. The scene cuts to Wren sharing a meal with Liddy, who asks her if she's noticed any tension between Captain Redden and the Colonel. Wren is like, wait, you mean the Colonel, like Travis Redden? And Liddy's exact response was, yes. Things have been tense in intelligence since the bomber was stolen. Travis is on edge, which feels like an oddly personal reference. And Wren, I think, is also thinking that too, because she's like, she tells like Liddy, she's like, oh, I thought you didn't work directly under him. Liddy blushes and says that she doesn't. She's like, but I think I've delivered coffee to him once. Yeah, freaking right, Liddy. Maybe delivered coffee to his bed. Like, there's
these people lying. I couldn't work here. I'd be so mad at the lies.
Anyway, that to me, that's where it was. It's just proof that they are 1,000%
delivered coffee
together.
Into his bed. Oh my gosh.
I almost said something so much more crass, but I'm like, no. That we're just leaving it at the coffee.
Leave it at that. Yeah.
Anyways, Liddy, being the program gossip, is absolutely working in Wren's favor right now because Liddy proceeds to tell her that she overheard Travis when walking by his office the other day. Again, feels like code. Like, okay, walking by his office. I'm just kidding. But still talking about Cross being complacent and that Travis is going to change that. And he's putting together a short list of high-ranking officers. That feels like a lot to just casually overhear when you're walking by. But I digress, and I love Liddy. Wren immediately links with Cross and tells him that Travis might be looking to replace him, but Cross just laughs and says that the general, like the general's not going to let that happen, which again, to me, it's just more proof that Travis is going to do something shady to take
Especially
over.
if he's already, like, making this group of high up people, like, you're going to support me, right? When I do this, you're going to support me. Ooh.
Yeah. And also, so, I mean, here's the thing. Exactly like you said. He's already making a short list. Like, he's already, like, suspicious. He's pissed. Like, he has plans. He wants them to fall into place. He wants to see them happen. And if the general is going to be what's stopping him, he's going to take him out. And like I said earlier, it's going to have to be someone in his family. Like, the general doesn't trust anyone. So it's going to have to be someone in his, like, immediate circle that would be able to potentially even pull something off like that. Plus, the fact that Travis is in intelligence. Like, he's smart enough to know not only how to do it, but how to get away with it, I think. Like, quite honestly. That night, Adrian links with Wren and tells her what she needs to do for the Jubilee. It's a very simple objective, and it gives her hope that she was right in telling Cross that no civilians will get hurt, which gives me zero hope for the fact that civilians will get hurt, or will not get hurt. The next day, she gets a black bag that they have waiting for her in the vehicle pool, and then makes a show of looking around under the pretense that she's signing out a vehicle. She says that she has a leisure pass, which she does, and she's planning on going to visit with Liddy with her parents, which is true, and she's like, Liddy will literally confirm that with anyone who asks, so like, my cover story is solid. The only part of this plan that is not solid is the fact that she's hoping whoever's monitoring the cameras won't notice the fact that she entered with no bag and is leaving with a bag. And that is where we end for today. So,
woo, so juicy. So much happened. And next week we finish. Guys,
we do.
It's been great.
And I am so excited because, I mean, there's no way all of our theories are going to be answered in the next 6 chapters. I would love for them to, but, like, I'm just excited to see what we do get. Gosh, there's just, like, so many thoughts. Obviously we know I think it's going to end. Here's where I'm landing. We haven't done this in a while, but I'm bringing it back. Here's what Melissa thinks is going to happen in the last 6 chapters.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't
we did this
think
once.
We did this once, said we were going to do it every episode, and then never did it again. Typical.
It's fair. It's okay.
So I think that I don't think we're going to get confirmation necessarily on Travis and Liddy. I do think that civilians are going to get hurt in whatever is planning on the Silver Jubilee. And I also don't think we're necessarily going to get confirmation on Tana being the one who betrayed Jim. I think that's going to come later. But I think that the way this is going to end is Wren is going to be absolutely beside herself, shell-shocked at the fact that the uprising would hurt innocent people. And that's really going to open her eyes to the fact that they are no good. And it's going to end with her and Cross being like, we need to do something else on our own. Kind of like, I think that's how this one is going to end.
I also think that we will get the reveal that Kaine is alive before the book ends. I almost wonder if that's going to be the cliffhanger of the book finale. Okay.
I don't know if I think that we're going to get that in this one, but I would love to get
Watch
that
him be dead, and here I am, we're 3. Like, but you know what, Melissa? We've not been too wrong for the whole book. Like,
I feel like we haven't.
Wolf being Cross,
which is so obvious.
We called Grayson Blake playing a bigger role because they named him in the first, like, literally the first chapter or second chapter. We were like, that name's coming back around. It took all of 40 chapters, but it came back around. I mean,
yeah, that's fair. I think we've been wrong about really inconsequential stuff, though. I think we, like, really thought way too hard about, like, little things. Because I also think there's been many a times throughout these episodes where I've been like, and here I am eating my own words because that didn't happen. But, like, the major stuff, I feel like we've been fairly spot on with. So we'll see. Only time will tell, I guess.
Only time will tell.
Only chapters will tell.
Well, friends, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week for the finale of Silver Elite.
Bye.